presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to John in Orlando. John, what's going on, brother?
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
Good. I want to tell you, I've been listening to you since your radio days back in '99. Appreciate what you guys do. But what I really enjoy that you brought back Tim Ward. This guy is as smart as a whip.
I am so happy for that feedback.
Yeah, because he's one of a kind. He's got to be the #1 market timer. I'm telling you, it's like he calls it really, really good.
He does. I really appreciate the feedback, man.
Yes.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Man, we had a day today. Unfortunately, we were having some issues with the internet that was resolved. We got that taken care of around 1 o'clock. So thanks for staying there with us, keeping patient. Shouldn't have any issues going on now. We end up getting a new modem as well. Looks a little stormy out here today, so hopefully we can keep this power going. We have the SPY trading up 1.79% at 574.07. You have the composite trading up 2.24% at 18,182. That's being led, I would really argue, by Tesla. Dow Jones Industrial trading up 1.35% at 42,554. With the Russell Futures trading up 2.32% at 2,122. You got that dollar trading at 104.28, up 0.13%. Crude oil ticking up as well. I believe on top of threatening countries that get oil from Iran, Trump has now threatened countries that get oil from Venezuela. It's going to make some movement up, at least in that contract there. Gold contract coming down a little bit, 3,014. A healthy pullback. I mean, this thing has been so unbelievably strong. Of course, you're trading at, I think we made an all-time high. Let's see. You have 3,062 trading at 3,014. Definitely has outperformed the market since the beginning of the year. Copper is trading off about 0.58% at $5.08. And silver basically flat right now. Let's see what else. I mean, this is a pretty widespread green day. I don't know if it really makes sense to be moving up like this, right? Beyond that, we were just kind of due for a little bit of a counter trend bounce, right? Again, the whole way I've been looking at this kind of stuff is, what are the general market conditions? What kind of uncertainty do we have coming up? I don't think any of that has improved or become clearer. Now, I guess there is some conversation around, potentially pushing some of the tariffs back a little bit, or them being smaller in scope, which is fine. I still think there are issues with the broader economy. I think the contracting growth is there even without tariffs. Again, the environment that we're kind of in, per the words of the Fed, and I know a lot of what Powell was saying sounded very dovish, but I don't get why people aren't focusing more on that down revision in GDP growth with an increase in the target of inflation, right? That's going to 1.7% growth in GDP and a 2.8% in inflation. I mean, that's spooky for sure. And again, I don't know if you can really lower interest rates in there. Of course, now you're having Bostich saying he just sees one rate cut this year, and that's due to tariffs. Now, of course, the tariffs can get removed at any time, but that uncertainty exists. And, do you want your money in a market like that? And I mean, I don't have my money in this market like that. I am pretty cash right now. I have maybe 2 equities I'm holding. I am playing leveraged ETFs here and there. And look at Tesla today. I mean, I got in early on TSLL, did sell out before it went to its highest. That's fine. I still am bearish on Tesla. I think a lot. We'll talk a little bit about this, but overall, I still think there's a lot of uncertainty in this market. Now, I'm not saying that the year doesn't end very strong, right? I mean, we can get this sector rotation. I mean, for instance, right? Like we're talking about mining, okay? Like what is this, these new sectors people are going to focus on? We've been talking with Trump. He's going to do increased mineral production in America, okay? Definitely strategic minerals, quote unquote. You can't see them on the camera, but strategic minerals. And then rare earth as well, which I would assume kind of go into that strategic category. And then, yeah, on March 20th, immediate measures to increase American mineral production. This is huge. Mineral means a critical mineral. It's defined by 30, okay, USC, as well as uranium, copper, potash, gold, any other element. I wonder if antimony goes in there. There are some interesting, very small junior antimony miners that are just in the U.S. Mineral production means mining, processing, refining. Let me see here. Within 10 days of the day is order the head of each executive department of agency involved in permitting the mineral production shall provide the chair of the NEDC a list of all mineral production projects for which a plan of operations, a permit application, or other application for approval has been submitted. Within 15 days of the date of this order, the NEDC chair, in consultation with the head of the relevant agencies, shall submit the executive director of Permitting Council Mineral Production. Long story short, they're ramping this stuff up. They want more recommendations, a list of all federal lands known to hold mineral deposits and reserves within 10 days of this. So, yeah, they're going to start mining this stuff, man. I mean, in a big way. So, I mean, of course, looking at MP. Now, MP, I don't even know what the price has been in the past 2 hours, something like that. Still up 3.4%, okay? We've spoken about these guys quite a bit. You have the Ukraine mineral deal, which in theory I thought might be somewhat conflicting with MP Materials, although we're really going to find out what they actually have and does that cut into what MP Materials makes. Of course, we've gone over a lot of what they have. Give me a second here. We can pull it up and kind of take a look at it. Let's see here. Oh, good. Well, it doesn't seem like MP Materials. Wow, okay. Their website is messed up right now. We'll take a look at that at some other point. That doesn't seem very bullish, but that's okay. Neodymium is really the big thing that MP Materials is doing. This could be for batteries. Of course, you have NAC as well, skyrocketing today. Up nearly, excuse me, not NAC right here. Up 32.46%, 1.18. So, you know, you're having these smaller kind of, this thing has gone through pump and dumps a lot in the past, so just a kind of heads up on that. This is Northern Dynasty. You know, these smaller miners start to look kind of attractive. So we're waiting to kind of see what that transition over is, right? And I remember we were talking a little bit as well in the den, you know, do these tariffs help, you know, things like the Russell? I've seen something like that be said. I think producers to some extent, right? Like in really hard original industry can get that. I also do think though that tariffs can very negatively impact these kind of, you know, quote unquote smaller entities, right? So we are left with, it is kind of unclear what's going to happen. And I think that you don't want to vote with that with your dollars. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky.
Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, everybody. Jacob Shoup, you're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Usually we have Steve Rhodes on. However, I believe he is off right now. That is fine. We're going to have him on next week. However, I do want to put to your attention over here in the newsletters tab of TFNN.com. Mastering Probability newsletter by Steve Rhodes. I really do like having Steve on. I think one of the things he, brings up that I really do like is looking at price movements, and he predominantly does this SPX, but you do it with other things as well. But it helps because they're, kind of broader market. What he looks at is how the stock is performing in other currencies, right? So we might have, like a down day or pullback in the SPX, but you're seeing it make all-time highs in, let's say euro or, whatever it might be, right? I find that very cool. I think it's very useful. Additionally, it can tell us conviction as well in our movements to the upside in the SPX. So anyways, we have a ton of archives with him and I on our YouTube channel, Tiger Financial News Network. You can check that out if you want to. They're fantastic. If you do, consider liking the video, consider subscribing. Helps us out a lot. But yeah, check out Mastering Probability. If it's your first time subscribing, you can do this risk-free. If for whatever reason it doesn't work out, you can get your money back. 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, nothing to fear. I'm betting it's going to work out because I like it quite a bit and I read it every day before I kind of get started. All right, so anyways, you got SPY up 1.78%, Composite up 2.23%, so on and so forth. Tesla, okay, up 10.62%. This is wild to me. Now, it's probably not surprising to everyone listening because I am very bearish on this equity. Taking a look at BYD, its competitor, totally beat Tesla in sales. I think they reached to about 100 billion. Every second, what is it? DDY maybe? Yep, that's it. The ADRs. Beat Tesla. Was it 5.5%? I think this is probably pretty well priced right now. But did beat Tesla to that 100. Give me a second, sorry. 100. Good Lord. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get this computer operating here. Okay. Yeah, they beat Tesla in revenue. It's massive. I think it was, what, to 100 billion? So that's some pretty nice movement for BYD. They're about to build, I'm trying to pull up this thing for you so you can see their plant. The plant is like unbelievable. Okay, here it is. the Zhengzhou is, well, they say it's, quote, bigger than San Francisco. I would suppose it's not that large. But the fact of the matter is they are gearing up to really have a massive amount of development capacity. Again, these are competitive. It's Chinese. Of course, one of the things I've been seeing definitely online is Tesla's new refurbished Model Y is finally hitting. It seems like this might be appealing in China. We'll have to wait to see. There are some orders. Another thing I've been seeing that's kind of defending this movement to the upside in Tesla is that their old Model Ys are now sold out. But it is important to note that at least in some circumstances, obviously they're not making that legacy Model Y anymore. And then additionally, they had price cuts as well. You are getting some kind of like sympathetic buy, right? So a lot of people who are, MAGA or whatever it might be, are at least interested in buying some Tesla now. We'll see how long that can last. Still, I think that its reputation damage in the US is somewhat large. I do think still the predominant, and it's not just me guessing on this, right? I mean, these kind of numbers are out there. The demographics that buy EVs traditionally are not Trump voters. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens with Tesla. As far as China's concerned, we are going to get some numbers for the new Model Y, so that'll be interesting to see. But I don't think any of that is really what's behind this right now. This is just another massive push from retail. This entire weekend, I was glued on Twitter, every 2 hours or something like that, if I wasn't sleeping, looking at what this sentiment was. And you had this big kind of strange push to buy $100 puts for June on Tesla. That seems pretty low. You'd have to have a pretty substantial event that would affect the whole economy, in my opinion, for it to move that low. But so you get this kind of, let's buy against that. And then also, again, this persistent idea that this is just a normal kind of pullback in an equity, right? And what I again, really want to focus on and why I had this price target, right, of about 250 and then all the way down to 215, which we nearly just touched that, is because this whole time period, I mean, even at the all-time highs, this whole time period did not make much sense. It's just because Trump won, and that is not a reason to send the equity from $250 to $488. And so you get that pullback because there's liquidity fear in the market from the yen carry trade blowing up, people being like, I don't know what's going to happen with tariffs, all this kind of uncertainty, and it pulls back, and that's why it did. It's not just a normal kind of, the equity went up pretty substantially and we're going to get a nice little sell-off. I mean, this is obviously, this gave back everything. And we're just under that gap up from when Trump was winning. This is a huge area of resistance to the upside for Tesla. I mean, can retail pump enough liquidity in it to move it higher up to 300? I'm sure anything's possible. But, retail is the last group to get their money out when things are shaky, and we were talking at the end of last year, what is the liquidity sink? What was it? I really think obviously that was the yen carry trade blowing up. Now, in my opinion, perceived contracting growth in GDP is going to be something like that. Like, I don't see large funds full porting into Tesla. I mean, the thing is vastly overvalued, and it's, people say the Optimus AI or whatever, and that's fine. I don't know what the total addressable market is for anthropomorphic robots. I'd also say they don't have first mover advantage in this whatsoever. I think they have some serious competitors now, obviously abroad with BYD. They're going to have serious competitors with things like GM, who are now partnering with NVIDIA to do this kind of driving. And they still don't have the full self-driving. And they're saying they're going to have it out and it'll be ready for these new computers. All of that sounds like to me is just trying to generate hype again on the equity. And I think when things get tough economically, these very high speculative growth stocks come back. Another thing I want to look at as well is you take this out on a 5-year, The last time it was anywhere near this level, right, was in November 1st of 2021. You had some volatility and we came all the way down, right? You're trading between that 300 to 200 area for quite a while. And then we finally got up here and we came right, I mean, what, you know, and this I would argue isn't even legit. I would also argue this was a lot of hype as well in 2021. But I just don't see the legitimacy in this move to the upside, is what I'm trying to say. This is still, at this price level, divorced from fundamentals. And I think fundamentals become more important the more uncertainty floods into the market. And so this is a pretty good area for that Tesla needs to hold and go above. And if it doesn't, then I think we go down. I still look at that April level of 180. So folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are March 14th and 28th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, everybody. Jacob Shoup, watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Another thing that I think is interesting today, I mean, obviously with like Tesla, Palantir, Planet Labs to some extent, come down a little bit. Lunar as well. I mean, this is a massive movement to the upside. A lot of these, let's even look at like Red Cat, you know, up 9.78%. I think people thought they're going to have earnings today, but they didn't. But these are all like these kind of like big retail meme stocks moving up today, right? And you know, I'm not hating on these things just to hate on them or because I have a political angle or anything like that. It's that I'm really concerned that we as retail investors are going to get given the bag again, right? Which is what happens all the time because retail can tend to hyper-focus on some of these stocks and create narratives around them that might not be, and they work when you're in like super good, you know, bull markets that are very strong. But I think there's uncertainty, and I think the outlook is not as rosy as it was, you know, and I get concerned that your average investor who, this is one of the, like, to be honest, like trading and hitting it on some equities is the way a lot of common people can actually get a little bit more control over their financial freedom. You know, I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of the way the world works. But I mean, even look at Hood, right? Like, that's up 8.75% today. And they're getting investigated. Why did it go up? I think this is kind of like just a counter trend bounce. You know. And I get concerned that everyone just loses it again. You know, that's the only reason I bring these things up. It's because I care about, I mean, I'm a retail investor, like, you know, and I think we can do well for ourselves this way. I mean, think about like even with Hood, like, and even why I still like Hood and I'm still like bullish on it long term is where all the young people go. There's so many retail investors go on Hood, even older ones, right? And because they realize like, hey, this is some way I could actually, you know, have some extra money. And it's a tough economy for a lot of people. I mean, things like Affirm and Klarna, all those blowing up should be, you know, a testament to that. But it's just, I don't know. I think sometimes retail can just get kind of hyper-focused on some of these equities and it doesn't, there's other better opportunities. And, you know, I'm certainly concerned with Tesla, this one. Because I don't see why it goes up. Like, at this point. I think today was just, this is kind of like a meme selection, you know? So anyways, that's what you have going on. Of course, you know, Lunar, let's talk about Lunar. Actually decent earnings for the guys today. The revenue rose, let's see here. Yeah, what is it? 54.6 million versus 30.7 million. These guys are cool. They're doing space launches. There's a lot of stuff with space launches going on right now. You have one of Starlink's competitors, got a nice upgrade from Deutsche Bank, if I recall correctly. That's Viasat. Of course, we've also been looking at ETCMY, which is Eutelsat. This is European Starlink, essentially off 8.33% today. You know, I don't know if this is because of a potential resolution in Ukraine. I will say that might not fully be the case because you still have Rheinmetall to the upside. The euros are going to spend. The European stock market has done exceptionally well, especially compared to ours since the beginning of this year. This is one that's still kind of interesting to me because I think Europe is waking up a little bit. Okay, let's move on to Quantum. NVIDIA, very interesting news with them in a kind of a pivot, right? So NVIDIA's up 3.31% today, trading at 121.59. It seems like they are going to try to work on quantum, which is very interesting because they're going to build an accelerated quantum computing research center. Okay, so it'll integrate leading quantum hardware, okay, with AI supercomputers. This is a cool way you can use quantum, all right, enabling what is known as accelerated quantum supercomputing. A lot of this is just kind of new neologisms. Quantinuum, quantum machines, Q-era computing are going to be in on this. So quantum computing, this is their quote, okay, this is Jensen Huang, will augment AI supercomputers to tackle some of the world's most important problems, from drug discovery to materials development. There is a lot of cool stuff going on right now in materials development with things like AI, right? So much so that they discover some kind of new way, whatever, some new alloy or whatever it might be, and they don't even do anything with it because there'll be something better going forward. I've also seen cars that are starting to be developed. These are like very specialized racing vehicles that are being designed with AI, which is super neat. Okay, so this is an interesting little pivot for NVIDIA for sure. Using GB200, I think this is like this kind of quasi-quantum these people are doing. Working with the wider quantum research community to advance CUDA quantum hybrid computing. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just like throwing them a bone in a major way after he like totally popped the quantum bubble. IonQ's on the massive move to the upside on this kind of stuff, up 17.25%. And again, you kind of take a look at these equities that are moving up today, and they're all these kind of retail meme stocks. RGTI, Rigetti Computing, up 6.56%. D-Wave, I don't even know I forget the ticker for D-Wave, but get the point. And then of course Qubit is up 17.39%. And you guys heard my entire rant analysis on Qubit. We looked at satellite images, of their, quote unquote chip manufacturing plant. So all this stuff is very weird. Maybe you can get a run up this week, right? And again, we're due for like a counter trend bounce in the market. Still think there are bearish conditions. And again, a lot of this is going to depend too on what happens, at least sentiment wise, on what happens next Wednesday, right? That's when these tariffs are supposed to go into effect. Maybe you knock it off. I mean, that would be a massive rally potential, for the market. But I would not be surprised either if this week, you see something like Tesla, quantum computing, Lunar give back its gains. Because it is just striking to me that it's that handful of equities that's getting all this movement to the upside. Folks, 30 we'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds for both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, everybody. Jacob Shoup, watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Some interesting, I was looking at Peloton, up 4.26% today. I want to talk a little bit more about Europe and I think there is some very interesting opportunity here, and not in the defense area. I think that's kind of, again, that cat's out of the bag. I think that's very, it's kind of low-hanging fruit now, I think. But just this, I think we might be seeing, again, some kind of, I say national, of course, it's, a federation or whatever they want to call it. But again, a development of some kind of ideal of hey, it's kind of clear we need to focus on ourselves and focus on our own kind of destiny in a way. It's very unique that Tesla has actually, this has been a big, Trump has been a big criticism of Europe for quite a while, right? That is kind of what do they call it, a museum or whatever like that. Not really much development going forward. Obviously a lot of reliance militarily on the U.S. and have Trump come in, and in some ways maybe it is good for Europe to kind of think that way. I mean, they have no real major push for developing a European AI. There has been some conversation around that, of course, but in the past, what usually happens is these things just get regulated, basically out of existence, and so it's very interesting. It seems like companies in the EU now are looking for ways to get rid of the reliance on American cloud supporters. Now, how easy is that to do? I would argue that's extraordinarily difficult. There's early signs from this article that some European companies and governments kind of looking to get out of this. European-based cloud service companies, Exoscale and Elastic's, said in this interview that they have seen an uptick in potential customers looking to abandon U.S. cloud providers over the last 2 weeks. Now, this is just murmuring. This is something, you don't hop into immediately, but it's something interesting to look at. Of course, you have LIDL, German company. I believe their parent company has been getting into that. And then Nebius, too. There is a potential for them to fill this. This is not necessarily what they're doing, but there is potential for these guys to potentially offer this cloud. It says here, look at this, even Nebius to be an early adopter AI cloud provider to offer the new NVIDIA Blackwell Ultra AI factory platform. This is one I'm still following very closely because I think it is poised very well to meet some of those demands that the Europeans should probably start having for things like cloud. Now, this is apparently going to be for AI, but we've seen what this guy has done, the CEO in the past with Yandex. No doubt in my mind he could meet this. Now, of course, listen, that's a huge speculation, okay? And I wouldn't write home about it. But I mean, you have a incredibly strong area of support right here, around $25. Would like to see some motion to the upside. This is probably going to be some news on Nebius's part. Of course, they're expanding to the U.S., so we're following that very closely when that comes out. Of course, we're definitely going to discuss it. I have so much of this now that I don't really want to add more at this level, just for my personal taste. But I still feel very positively on it. So we'll see what happens with that in general. But keep your eye on Europe is what I'm trying to say. I think there are some very interesting opportunities outside of the US right now while we're all trying to figure our stuff out, see how these tariffs play out, see how Trump's plans play out. And it'll certainly be interesting. But there's other opportunities elsewhere, which I think might be kind of attractive. You know, so much of this has been US for so long, and when you get these road bumps, it's kind of cool to see other things. I mean, even with this one here. Let's see here. Yeah, Eurozone business activity grew at its fastest pace in 7 months in March, supported by an easing and long-running manufacturing downturn. Improving business climate in the bloc could gain more traction over the coming months as plans for spending splurge in infrastructure and defense, particularly in Germany, raise optimism for a turnaround in Europe's economic fortunes. HCOB's preliminary composite Eurozone PMI rose to 50.4 this month from February's 50.2. That's the highest level since August. And really with Germany's slowdown too, I mean, I think this is a win-win for the Germans in a major way. And it'll be interesting to see them kind of like wake up as well. And again, you know, I think there is some kind of negative sentiment towards the European defense stocks if this war in Ukraine and Russia dries up. But I mean, listen, what you're going to see again is this kind of realization on the Europeans' part that we need to start being able to do this kind of stuff on our own. And I do think normalization of those kind of relationships, because I actually do potentially see normalization between America and Russia with Trump as well. And that could open up business opportunities for everyone involved, which would be kind of interesting. I know that might be like hard to hear, and I think it is for a lot of people, but I do see that potentially being something some people move towards, which I find kind of interesting. Okay, I want to move back to quantum real quick. Take a look at ARC. This is a post-quantum, okay, or rather quantum-resistant security company. It's kind of interesting. You're up 242 million market cap right now. You're up 9.06%. I have been trying to figure out what it is exactly these guys do. What it is they're trying to replace this current key infrastructure that we have, PKI, and they're using what they're calling quantum key infrastructure. But it is some kind of strange hybrid. So, okay, I'm gonna throw this over here. What I think is nice about this is it's able to wrap onto a lot of different stuff already, which is cool. Yeah, it's called the Quantum Key Distribution Network, but it is symmetric, which is very interesting, because a lot of our stuff is asymmetric key infrastructure now. And it does. I think it's kind of overvalued a little bit at this, or at least it's pricing in an inordinate amount of growth at 242 million because they don't really have that much revenue at all. But I'm trying to figure out, and if anyone knows, you can point me in the right direction. I mean, I'm looking at, you know, this big PDF they put to Etsy.org, and I'm trying to see how they do it, and I'm having a difficult time finding exactly which protocols they're using. I'm supposing it's this Etsy QKD 014. But guys, the reason why I'm bringing this up, one, I want to put it on your guys' radar. This is something in quantum, even though I am kind of bearish on quantum in general. Obviously, the sentiment is oppositional to that. But things like the defense, we've already seen people trying to adopt, right? You see that happening in Amazon, in Meta, Microsoft. They're all trying to adopt these kind of post-quantum encryptions. Now, this is a little bit different. This is how they're transferring the keys, but it's still worth taking a look at. I can send anyone this PDF if they want. You can email me at jacob@tfnn.com. We can take a look at it. Folks, stay right there. I'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Jacob Shoup, we had a short segment going on here. Take a look at Arket. What they're doing is, it's like a hybrid. So it's a symmetric key, basically. Symmetric cryptography, which is using just one shared key. These are a little less vulnerable to things like Shor's algorithm, which breaks asymmetric cryptography, things like RSA. We've spoken about that on here. And then I guess they wrap it with something like a lattice-based structure, which is a similar concept used in the NIST recommended standards like Kyber and dilithium. So it's kind of interesting. I think it's cool as well that it just sits on top of the current, like whatever your current kind of like network is, I suppose, from what I'm understanding via reading. It's kind of neat. But I do want to say, at least for them, this is for their fiscal year 2024. And why I say this thing is pricing in a ton of growth is you had revenue of $293,000, and this has a market cap at least of Thinkorswim 243 million. Okay, the company executed on contracts during the period for 13 customers. Most contracts are limited licenses for demonstration and integration testing of Arket's symmetric key agreement software. And I'd assume what it's doing is just sitting on top of the entire network and encapsulating it that way. But don't quote me on that, because there's still more I have to read to understand what they're doing. But it seems like it's a relatively easy implementation, which is kind of neat. They had a multi-year enterprise license contract in basically Europe, Middle East, and Asia region for government end users, kind of cool. And so that revenue generation was expected to commence in that fiscal period. So we'll have to see if this can get anything. The cash position of 18.7 million, it's a lot of growth priced into ARK right now. So be wary. Folks, thank you so much for joining me. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien.